Welcome to Hero Power. I'm your host, Avantes, and as always, I'm joined by my co-hosts, Zeroshio.
There's no way this show rides on me. I have one job. It is to be funny, and I'm not even good at that.
And Versika.
Just
head shake.
Just head shake.
And for all you people that are listening to this on a download, you really should join us for the live shows that we do every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because our pre-show is just getting funnier and funnier every week.
We have a pre-show?
when we hit the I was gonna say when we decide to hit the stream button.
That's true.
Yeah, details.
And a lot of times the pre-show is happening and we're like, have we gone live yet? No. Oh, well.
Yeah. And if you're also listening to us on the download, on the audio portion of this, you should definitely go to HeroPowerHS.com and at least watch the beginning of this episode because Versika's hair is blue.
Yes, it is. Very blue. So, with that...
Like Cookie Monster blue.
With all of that said, we got a great show lined up this week. A lot to talk about, and some upcoming changes, some tournaments, some maybe teasers, and then we've got a great deck to check out in the second half of the show. So
we've got giant news. Without
further ado, or would that be without further ado, let's talk about the HCT Summer Championships that happened this past weekend. So if you guys don't know, HCT Summer Championship was held in California this past weekend. It was a great tournament, a lot of fun to watch. If you want to know more about the behind the scenes aspect of championships, check out this week's Innkeeper podcast. My co-host Root was actually there running the fireside on the floor during the event, and he broke everything down for us day by day, what happened behind the scenes. He had some really cool stories from the floor, and it was just a lot of fun. So go check that out.
And I'm gonna chime in on this because I watched the show live, and I won't do this often, but I have to compliment Avantes doing a great job over there at the HS Innkeeper podcast, along with Illyria and Root. For somebody who's going to be going to BlizzCon and see this kind of stuff live, it was really good insight on not only the working behinds and all the hardships he had, as well as all the things he overcame and was able to accomplish out there and get his job done. He also gave a little insight as if you're a viewer, how you can possibly get in some of these key tables and get into the kind of camera spots and top spots, and it was just a really good insight into the workings of an actually Blizzard ran event instead of just like a fireside event ran by some innkeepers. Obviously it was ran by an innkeeper and Root, but it was Blizzard sanctioned. It was a Blizzard HCT. He had to work a fireside around all the production. So definitely check out this week's episode of HS Innkeepers. It's a great watch.
Cool. And that brings us to our part of the HCT, which was the tournament side. And last week we all made our picks. Some of us did better than others. But so we'll not revisit that. We don't want to open old wounds. Let's just talk about who made the top 8.
First, I was wrong. Dog failed me.
Yeah, it was the clothes. The clothes weighed him down. He couldn't play.
Wait. If they wouldn't let him take his shirt off and play with no shirt on, he would have been just fine.
Who was right?
I was wrong. Let's just leave it
at that.
That's
all Zeroshio said. He was
wrong. Who was right?
We'll get to that.
So
we'll get to that. So our top 8 for this tournament was A83650, Shao T, Jinsu, Killin' All Day, Nalgwadun, Viper, Bunny Hopper, and Turna. So if you guys listened, you'll know 2 of our 3 picks made top 8. That being Nalgwadun and Bunny Hopper. So, like I said, there was a lot of great matches. I watched this entire tournament. It was the first time in a long time I watched the entire tournament, all except for the last two matches. I had to go back and rewatch the last two matches because I fell asleep on the couch.
Now, that's understandable because this tournament, there was a lot of control. Only two players brought an aggro lineup. And these games, literally, you would have one game go an hour and a half. Like not one match, not one best of 5 series. One game in the series went an hour and a half. And it was crazy. Zhao Ti out of China definitely represented China really well. I expect to see him in future events. Turna, while he didn't make the top 4, a lot of people said he was probably one of the weakest players out of Europe. And as you see here, all 4 representatives from Europe made it to the top 8, which was absolutely amazing. There was a lot of kind of shade thrown his way by Viper. And, him and Viper, both went really far. So it was a really good tournament. But our final 4 ended up being A3650, Killing All Day, and Viper and Bunny Hopper. Now, Viper and Bunny Hopper ended up facing each other, and Viper and Bunny Hopper brought the exact same 120 card lineup.
Well, they practiced together.
Yep.
So,
and it went to 5 games where Bunny Hopper ended up sweeping him to make it to the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that our finalists, A83650 versus Bunny Hopper, was I went back and rewatched that match because I literally woke up on the couch as they were handing the trophy to Bunny Hopper. So yeah. Congratulations, Versika, and anyone else that chose Bunny Hopper. That was his pick. He said that he would try to wear some bunny ears. We couldn't find any bunny ears. Friend of the show, Kurt Hunter, sent us a link to some on Amazon.
I didn't think they could. I was going to say I didn't think they could get here. I didn't think they would get here in time. So it was my fault for not ordering them. I was under the impression that they would not be being delivered over July 4th, but I was wrong on that. So, I will be wearing them the next time I'm on the show,
which will not be next week.
Which will not be next week because I'll be swimming with sharks.
He will be swimming with sharks, and
during Shark Week,
we will have his special guest on to fill his spot next week.
So before we go off of this, Bunny Hopper did really great. He pretty much admitted in interviews this is probably going to be his last chance to make Worlds because he's taking a huge focus on his study and getting his degree and getting his doctorate so he can become a doctor and provide some much needed financial assistance for his family. And he said that Hearthstone right now is a hobby and it's paying. It's making him some money, but his focus is going to be on his doctorate. So we will see him at Worlds along with Viper, A83650, and Killing All Day. So those people that supported Killing All Day and YoCad and the hashtag YoCad movement for a year of Killing All Day, it is indeed the year of Killing All Day. He will be at the World Championships.
Yeah, Dr. Hopper.
Dr. Hopper.
So I chose Bunny Hopper, so I followed him throughout the tournament, and I tried to watch every time he was on. One of the things I want to talk about 2 different matches. The first one was Bunny Hopper versus Turna, and you could see the turning point in that match. If you go back and watch the VOD, watch Turna's face. It was when he was playing his Warlock deck, and Bunny Hopper swings the match, and at that point it's an uphill climb for Turna, and you can see the stress on his face. From that moment on, he wasn't the same player.
Yep.
I mean, you could just tell. And then when I found out that it was going to be A8 that was going to be facing Bunny Hopper in the finals, I was actually pretty scared for Bunny Hopper. I was afraid that A would be in his head because that's who beat him when they were qualifying. So I was just like, oh God. And then you could see in that match, you could see the stress in Bunny Hopper's face, but you can see too that A8 felt the pressure more. And I think that's inexperienced. Bunny Hopper had been there before. I mean, he's been in land events and he's been in the top 8 before. You know, for A8, I'm not sure what his tournament experience is outside of the HCT, but I think it was his first finals. Was it his first top 8? It may have been his first top 8.
Yeah, I think this is his first series through majors, starting with where he qualified.
I mean, you could tell that the pressure was there, and he was he was all smiles. He was very. I thought he handled himself well. He's young. I think he's a talented player, and I think we'll see him more. But yeah, I think in looking back, I think that you can really watch the player expressions throughout, and you can watch and tell when they knew the game was turning. And the deck we're playing tonight, I feel like, broke a lot of players' proverbial backs.
Yes.
I mean, it just you think you've got it, and then suddenly it turns. And then the big spell mage with Jaina was the same thing. It was just like, I've got him. Oh crap! No, I don't got him. And then it's just like, you can just see it. You could just see it take the life out of him, and it was something that it was interesting in the aspect that we don't see this very much on such a grand scale. So it reminded me of watching poker in a lot of sense. When you would look at, you see people looking across the table and looking for when, the people across the table from them are stressing, or when they think that, when they think that they have to go in on maybe a weak hand, you could tell it on their faces. And this was something where you could tell these guys, once they lost a match that they thought they had, you could just watch that stress set in. And
yes,
you could look at their earlier matches, and then it's like they start playing this next game, and it's like, where's the person I saw 3 matches ago? Where's the person that reverse swept this guy? Where's you could just watch I don't want to say despair, but it was like they gave up. You could see them give up, or at least doubt that they could win.
And you saw this quite a bit. That's one thing I love about these tournaments where you see some fresher names, is you do see this human element. Blood Trail pretty much just crumbled when he was playing as Hunter, and from that point on, he made just bad decision after bad decision because he couldn't get over the first bad decision he made in a previous game. You mentioned Turna kind of throwing it in mentally, it looked like, and it affected him trying to get out of the top 8. This also happened in Algadon. But AA3650, this happened to him as well, but he was able to compose himself, recollect himself, either finish strong in that game or collect himself in the next game. And that's what I believe is that one little skill set that he naturally has that took him to the finals. And he is going to be somebody to watch at World Championships. I'm really excited to see this whole lineup of players. I'm not a huge fan of Viper's personality. He's very stoic and pretty much nobody can beat me. When obviously the person that beat him was his own lineup, so maybe there is some truth in that. So that's going to be an interesting story going in the Worlds. But Killing All Day, A8, 3650, and Bunny Hopper, they're really going to – these next groups going into the World Championships are going to have to step up their game to compete with these players.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that this meta isn't going to stick around. So a lot of it is going to be, what does the next meta look like, and where do these players fit inside it? Because I feel like Bunny Hopper is a very good control meta player. I think if the meta turns to more of a mid-range or an aggro meta, I don't like his chances as much.
Though I do like the chances of killing all days if that ends up happening.
Yeah. And I mean, the meta will change just in adding a new expansion to the pool. Whether it speeds up or how fast it will speed up, whether it speeds up to the point of, aggro being on top again, or whether it's more of a mid-range. If you really think back, we're really in a very similar spot that we were in with Whispers. I was looking through some of my older notes. We were saying the same things about Whispers of the Old Gods, and then Pirate Warrior emerged and dominated the meta for almost a year. And if that same sort of thing happens, come championship time, the lineup that is coming in, I think, will struggle in that style of meta.
Okay, cool. So that was the championships. Go back and watch them, guys. There was a lot of great play. So the VODs are all online. I'll actually have a link in the show notes to the brackets where you can just click on, there's a play button beside each bracket. You can watch each of the games right there if you want. Takes you straight to them. So be sure to check those out. This week we also had a blog post drop on the Play Hearthstone site about some upcoming Minion type adjustments. So basically they're going to shift a few minions. Basically, Molten Giant will now be considered an elemental. Mountain Giant will now be considered an elemental. So with this reclassification, it adds some additional options to the elemental top decks. So, do you guys feel like this is going to shift anything in the meta at all? Is it going to help Elemental Mage, which, has been being played a little more now that Kibler seems to have found a deck list that works?
I don't say Kibler found a deck list. Kibler has had a deck list that works. Just people are just now starting to use it. I've been using Kibler's his elemental / hybrid heavy spell mage for quite a bit of time, and his elemental mage is really good. I like it, but I think it will, because it's going to put these cards. Well, it's in standard. It's only going to put Mountain Giant in the pool. Molten Giant is only affected for wild players, but I think it won't right now. But with future sets and more cards being put in the pool, more discover effects, more elemental synergies, it may adjust the meta or adjust how those decks would work anyways. Now, whether that's positive or negative, it depends on what type of cards come out in the future sets and this year, the next two releases that we're going to see this year.
I don't know. I think, isn't Kibler's deck more of a fringe deck? I mean, I really don't see it taking the place of Big Spell Mage or even the Tempo Mage.
Every deck Kibler plays is a fringe deck. But based on your skill level of playing it, you can play it at a high level. I just happen to like his mage deck because I pilot it well. But all of his decks take a specific type of mindset to play. I wouldn't say he plays any mainstream decks at all.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't see this having a super big impact on the meta. I mean, I play a spellless mage that runs the Giants, and I mean, it already had it in there. I think if your mage deck already has Giants in it, I think, you'll see a little bit of an impact. But I don't see any mage decks adding Giants because of this. Having it available off a server in Calamos, could be good, but I don't even run Servant in my current mage. So maybe I trade it out for, I don't know, maybe I trade it out for Steam Surger on the off chance that I can get another Mountain Giant. But I can tell you this. The first time somebody uses this at a tournament and that Mountain Giant comes out with Jaina on the board and the opponent doesn't have a way to deal with it, you're going to start seeing it more and more. And you may even see a resurgence of Big Game Hunter just so that some of these other decks can handle it when it does come out.
Well, there is one thing. A lot of, especially your deck, have elemental synergies, and if you were to put Mountain Giant in the mix, it throws off your elemental synergy. If you're playing a Mountain Giant that turn, you're not able to, play an elemental next turn that has the synergy. Well, now you'll be able to once this patch hits live, which they haven't said when it's going to be yet, but I suspect it's in the next couple of weeks. But you can actually have synergies with it now.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't affect the way that I'm going to play my deck, because my deck, I'm trying to get that Mountain Giant out on turn 3, so I'm not waiting around for it. It's not going to. I mean, maybe into a Steam Surger, but most of the time I'm saving the Steam Surger for something else. So, I'm looking at this and I'm not really seeing a big impact, except for maybe in Shaman, you can maybe. That's another card that you can keep back in a control style Shaman that activates Kalamos. But I think this was done, and we talked a little bit about this in the pre-show. I think this is done in preparation for the next expansion, which makes me excited for both Mage and Shaman. If they felt like they needed to make this change going into the next expansion.
Yeah, and if they're taking the time to look at tribe synergies, like what art and what card themes match up with tribes, maybe they're introducing a new tribe. Maybe we don't know. They could be doing something next release or the release after that. This you're gonna look back and go, oh, that's why they did this. Similar to why now we're saying why Ironbeak Owl is now 3. So it can go in odd decks where Spellbreaker goes in even decks, and little things like that make sense 2 or 3 set releases later.
Right. And remember we were talking about how we didn't see the need for Hex to be 4?
And exactly. And then the even mechanic came out.
Can you imagine how powerful Odd Shaman would be?
It would be a thing. Well, first off, it would actually exist.
It would practically be unstoppable. Heck, I mean,
think so.
Real crowd control is the only thing that keeps that deck out.
And truthfully, I think it's less that Odd Shaman would be unstoppable and more that even Shaman would have no real good removal, because most of their spell-based removal is odd cost. So with Hex being probably the most powerful single spell removal that Shaman has, being even, it allows even Shaman to actually exist. If Hex was 3 cost, I don't think even Shaman would be able to exist.
No, I completely agree. 100% completely agree.
So while it would have made Odd Shaman a thing and possibly powerful, it also would have killed even Shaman outright, because it lost Lava Burst, it lost Lightning Strike, it lost all of its good removal, but had the strongest removal in Hex. And in those even Shaman decks, you only see just about the only spell in there is Hex and maybe the new elemental one, the +2/+2, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Then it relies on Hagatha from that point on.
Yep. So some other changes that are coming.
Oh, before we move on,
right.
I do want to clarify: not all giants have been changed to elemental. Just those 2 types of giants.
Correct.
All the other giants, based on the lore and the card art, are like physical, big, giant humanoid, but they're not elemental based. And the only other one that is elemental looking is the Snow Fury giant, and it already is elemental.
Yes. So, all right, we're getting a change to the Witchwood Piper. And if you don't know, the Witchwood Piper is the 4 mana, 3/3 neutral rare Battlecry, draw the lowest cost minion from your deck. So this is actually going to become a part of the Demon Tribe. And they say this is the first time they've introduced a satyr into Hearthstone, and they wanted to make sure to associate it with the proper minion classification.
Yeah, and if you play World of Warcraft, satyrs are demons. They're all demon classifications. And when this card came out, I was really surprised. When I first saw the card, I thought, oh, they forgot to put the demon tag on it. And I was really surprised it wasn't a demon.
Yeah, so then we're also changing the North Sea Kraken. It's the 9-mana, 9/7 Battlecry, deal 4 damage. It will now be considered a beast. So they say, in line with the fantasy of giant boat-smashing terrors of the deep, North Sea Kraken will become a beast. Just don't.
And I don't know why it never was a beast. I originally thought maybe they weren't giving it the beast because they were going to originally bring out maybe Naga as its own tribe, but that was way early on. I mean, it's just now happening.
It could technically be like a water dragon too.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have gone either way with it. But I mean, if you're going to give it,
looks like one.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to call it a kraken, I mean, you could almost go. I don't know. You could almost. Yeah. Okay. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways you could take it. I'm happy that they made it a beast though for the wild players, because I think that's going to be. I think it's going to be something good later on down the line.
Yeah, imagine this in a recruit hunter where Katharina, you have this as a 4 damage removal, which is really strong, and Katharina can pull out a 9/7. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. The next change is coming to the Jungle Moonkin. 4 mana, 4/4. Both players have spell damage +2. It was classified as a beast. However, they are taking that classification away, as Moonkin are in fact intelligent humanoids. So
yes, they actually had another
they're druids
Moonkin
who shapeshift.
I think it was the Moonkin Guide or Guided Moonkin that was released with this Witchwood set, and it was not a beast. So it obviously didn't match up.
Yeah, and then they also discussed how to address spectral cards like the Witchwood Grizzly and Arthas. Are they beasts or not? So for Witchwood Grizzly, they went ahead and updated the card art to make it look more like a beast and less like a ghost. Do you guys just find that unbearable?
Oh, you beat me to it. But
shout out to Matt at Arms for that, by the way.
I'm coming from a WoW background, World of Warcraft background, where I predominantly played Hunter, and there are a lot of pets that you can get that are spectral versions. They are still beasts. You can still catch them. They're all debuffs and buffs to beasts affect them equally, but they have the spectral look to them. I don't think the art needed to change. They talked that they're not going to change the art to Arthas because it's kind of a theme of the set that it came from. I don't think they need to change the art, but it doesn't hurt anything for them to change the art to make it more clear. I just hope they don't limit their artists in the future just because of a beast tag. I think if a beast is going to be a spectral type of beast, it makes for better art and a better feel to the game. Don't handcuff them and say you can't do that because it's a beast. Because in fact, in World of Warcraft, that does exist.
This makes me think that maybe ghosts are going to be part of a tribe coming up, and that this is going to be heading some confusion off at the pass, maybe.
Ghosts or maybe ethereals?
Spectre?
Yeah.
Ghosts, ethereals in World of Warcraft are different than ghosts or specters.
Right, but I mean, you could still, if you're going in that route, maybe ghosts could be a part of that expansion, because with the ethereals, you also had the Alkendown, and you had the bird people. I keep wanting to call them the Sekris.
Arakoa.
That's right. The Arakoa.
Yeah.
So you know, if you were to bring in Ethereals and Arakoa and maybe Spectral, other Spectral cards, then maybe Spectral is something that comes out. And so maybe this was just an attempt to just go ahead and clarify something, because this card is going to be in the set for 2 years. So, you know, it's going to be around long enough that it could cause issues later on. So maybe once again, this is a preemptive, you know, we're going to make a patch. Patch is kind of light. Let's just go ahead and nip this in the bud now. And that way, later, it's not something that we have to field questions on.
I am holding my rage about getting on the topic of Arakoas and the Skeddies, which are a tribe of evil Arakoa that are corrupt, that is surely not a direct ripoff of the Dark Crystal. But anyways.
Yeah, so those are the changes coming with the Minion type adjustments. I don't think there was a time frame on when this is going to happen, but probably soon.
Yes, probably soon. They did mention in the bottom of the blog that the Team 5 is requesting any other minions with inconsistent minion types to be sent to them via the comments on that blog, which we'll link to in the show notes, or to their Facebook or Twitter account.
Yeah, and something else that's really important to remember, guys. There will be no full Arcane Dust refunds for any of these cards because their power levels remain essentially unchanged. These are just, or in some cases, classification changes.
It's a buff. So, they could be argued they're a buff, but not a nerf.
So there will be no Arcane Dust refunds for these changes. Keep that in mind. Okay, moving along. Disguised Toast tweeted yesterday a possible teaser date for something. It says July 12th, save the date. And it's a picture of a green hand holding what could be a pear or an apple with the Hearthstone swirl.
Or a date.
Or maybe it's a date, yeah. So
and
that's all it was. It was just a picture.
Yep. And Disguised Toast is saying that it could be a teaser for the next expansion announcement. That's not been clarified. It's just assumptions. It could be an event coming up. Nobody knows. But Regis Kilbin, a really popular YouTuber and streamer, and I follow his stream. He's wonderful. I'm actually a subscriber. He kind of speculated on his stream and did a video of it, of what he thinks it is. And somebody in his chat mentioned they originally started with the concept that it was a orc hand holding some kind of fruit that they bit into and has a Hearthstone swirl in it. Well, somebody mentioned with the size of the hand, it could be a goblin. And if you have a date that's like not old, shriveled up, a fresh date, you know, right off the tree, it kind of looks like that. And it would play on the save the date, because they just took a bite out of a date, and dates have pits, and the Hearthstone swirl could be the pit of the date. So that there's a lot of speculation and assumptions going on this. Who knows? We'll find out hopefully on the 12th, unless that's just an announcement to announce the announcement date of another announcement, which is possible because Hearthstone and Blizzard has done that a lot.
I hope that we don't get like some kind of fairy tale themed expansion.
Well, I hope that we do get some kind of fairy tale themed expansion, because I love that sparklingness of dragons and knights and mythical things, and I like that kind of stuff. So I think it would be a fun expansion. It wouldn't be a serious kind of like a Frozen Throne, or I don't even think it might be more akin to Kobolds and Catacombs. I think you could have a whimsical version of Kobolds and Catacombs, and that would be kind of neat.
Yeah, and then it could be nothing. It could just
be nothing.
It could be nothing related to anything that we've talked about, and could be something off in way left field that nobody was even looking at.
Yeah, nobody really knows, and that's another thing. Nobody knows, and that's exciting. So I can't wait till the 12th so we can find out what we're supposed to find out and when we're supposed to find that out.
There you go. All right, so that brings us to this week's Tavern Brawl, which is Blood Magic. This is a repeat of a Tavern Brawl we've had in the past. It says it's standard only. How much are you willing to sacrifice for power? All of your spells will cost health instead of mana. So, all right, you guys had a chance to do this yet?
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
Since we had a whole extra day.
Yeah, I have not actually. I built a deck, but I haven't played it yet.
Was it Druid?
It was. Hoping to get Ultimate Infestation on turn 1.
Yeah.
So this has been done before but it was before Standard. So it was all the cards. It was considered Wild at the time. And, of course, that was before the Wild Discernment. But before it was you were trying to get the Astral Communion.
Yeah.
To then go to 10 mana. So that was a big, and then throw down your big minions at that point. I saw a lot of druids, but I played priest and basically tried to get out an early was it Healing Well? Is that the name of the card? I can't remember the 0/5 that heals for free.
It's Lightwell.
Lightwell, that's right. Yeah. The Lightwell, and then get do the Divine Spirit Inner Fire combo on it. Hopefully with also a Shadow Visions to double up my Divine Spirit or triple it up. And that won me. But yeah, Druid was sick.
So you double Ultimate Infestation on turn 1. Mm-hmm. It's brutal. Did I burn 1 card or 2 cards? I don't remember. Anyways, so I went down to 10, but I got 10 armor, so I was at 20. My opponent was at 20. I had a full hand and 2 5/5s on the board. And every time I did that, my opponent conceded. And it happened way too often.
The first time I won, my opponent Vicious Scalehided, and then I had thrown out a Northshire Cleric on turn 1. He coined Vicious Scalehide and told the bells as many times he could till he got down to 1 health. Then he ran it into my Cleric to heal all the way, well, not all the way back up, but most of the way back up. And then proceeded to emote, well played, and wow, and all that until his rope was done. And I deathed it. And he conceded.
Did you well met and wow and all that back?
Hey, of course I did. Of course I did. I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Exactly.
And I'm the gander.
So, all right. Well, I actually built a token druid, and with the ultimates, try to get ultimate in opening hand, and then try to just build up a bunch of low minions, and then buff them, and then go face. So as quickly as possible. So
was your cheese cheddar or Gouda? Because that was a cheesy way to win. Just saying.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was both.
It's all the cheese. It was Kobe Jack.
It was a 5 cheese mix.
Cheese. But yeah, so actually, I felt so bad about doing it that I went in and made a shaman deck.
So bad about doing it. I felt so bad I had to punish myself with shaman.
Well, no, I didn't punish myself. It was almost as good.
Wow. I deserve to be grounded. You're that kid that grounds himself before his parents know what he did. Like, Mom, I'm so sorry. I'm going to go to bed without dinner. What'd you do?
It was like,
okay.
Let's see, what was it? It was turn two, so turn 1, it was Coin, Blood Mage, Thalnos. Turn 2, it was Wrath of Eratotem. And then turn 3. No, turn 4. Yeah, turn 3 was Manatide Totem. Turn 4 was Lava Burst, Lightning Bolt, Healing Rain.
Wow.
I think that was right. That may have been turn 5. I don't remember. Anyways, he couldn't get Thalnos or the Wrath of Air Totem off the board because they were all
rain.
Going through.
Pay 3 health to then gain 12.
Yeah.
It's
good. It's good.
Did you have to take a shower after you played that deck? Because that was dirty.
Didn't feel as dirty as the Druid.
Now, Shaman also was good the first time they released this, but basically you would set everything up to utilize all your burn spells, and then when you were getting low, you would tree a life, and everybody would heal up, and you could start again. At that point, you have minions up. Was that Druid? No, yeah, that's right.
Tree of Life was Druid,
yeah, that's right. Okay. Oh, so Druid once again was good the first time.
Hey, you get to cast Tidal Surge for free. You pretty much cast Healing Rain for free.
Yeah.
It's
dirty.
Pretty good.
All right. Well, that brings us to this week's deck list. And we were talking about all the decks that were being played at the HCT Championship this past weekend. And one of the decks that really kind of stood out to us was the Combo Dragon Priest that was being played. I think there was 2 primary versions being played, and
all right. So real quick before we get into this, it's story time. So Avantes and I are sitting across from each other at coffee on Sunday morning, and Zeroshio calls us on the phone, or was it Avantes?
No, he called me. He called me.
So we're thinking, hey, what are we thinking for the deck this week? So not knowing that Zeroshio was saying, hey, we should play the Combo Dragon Priest. I say across the table to Avantes, hey, we should play the Combo Dragon Priest. Right?
At the exact same time. I'm getting it in stereo.
Yeah. And so at the time, I thought I was playing a different list. Turns out I was playing A8's list. Well, Zeroshio started on a different list and then switched to A8's list, which I didn't realize I was playing.
It was Blood Trail's list.
Until Avantes puts it in the show notes.
No.
And I start looking over and I'm just like, wait, that looks familiar. Wait, what? So I pull up my list and it's the exact same list that Zeroshio is playing. So I thought I was playing a list by APX Void, but it turns out I was playing A8's list.
I spoke incorrectly. It was actually Jinsu's list. Sorry, not Blood Trail's list. Jinsu's list was very similar to this one, except it ran the matriarchs. That's the big 3/7 that whenever a minion's healed, you get a dragon.
It's the dragon version of the Mana Geode.
And we basically decided whichever one seemed to have the most success in the tournament
whichever player
would be the one we use. And A83650 ended up doing really well with this deck. And I don't think it was so much the variations of the deck. I think it was more of how he played it. He just played it more cleanly. He kept his head cool and did whenever he was behind, he would hop on this priest and it would get him the composure to finish out the series and get a win and get him to the finals. Do we want to bring up the list and talk about it?
Yeah, that's what I was getting to.
Sorry.
Before story time.
Oh, well, story time, So one of the things that I like to do with most of these lists is I like to take out what I don't like and put in what I do like. And this is one of those lists where I actually didn't feel like I could take anything out. Like everything in this list has a place and has a purpose. So this is one of those lists where there's no subs. Yeah, if you want to play this list the way we're going to play it tonight, you have to have all the cards and you gotta keep it in line.
All right.
Yeah,
so
and I did want to make some changes, but just couldn't find room. It's almost as perfect as you can get it.
Yeah.
The deck list is as follows: 2 Northshire Cleric, 2 Power Word Shield, 2 Divine Hymn, 2 Mind Blast, 2 Shadow Visions, 2 Wild Pyromancer, 1 Acolyte of Pain, 1 Gluttonous Ooze, 2 Twilight Acolyte, 2 Duskbreaker, 1 Mass Dispel, 2 Twilight Drake, 1 Cabal Shadow Priest, 1 Holy Fire, 1 Skulking Geist, 2 Psychic Scream, 2 Primordial Drakes, and then you've got Shadow Reaper Anduin and Alex Straza. So which one of you wants to talk about the gist of the deck?
Well, Zerosha is playing it. I mean, I've been playing it for almost 2 weeks now. So we both have quite a bit of playtime with it. But you go ahead, Zerosha.
I mean, the deck is fairly self-explanatory. You want to get your card draw and your removal kind of on point with the type of aggro decks we have right now with Odd Paladin and some of these Zulus coming out. Wild Pyromancer alongside Power Word Shield, Northshire Cleric, and Divine Hymn can really turn the tide in your favor. I don't know how many times I'll just let my opponent build the board up, go really wide, and instead of trying to pull a Pyromancer, coin, Power Word Shield on turn 2, I'll wait a couple more turns so I can get the full combo with the Northshire Cleric, because I'm going to use Divine Hymn to heal myself back up and draw 2-3 cards. So it's all about kind of managing your tools. I did want to find a way to get a second Cabal Shadow Priest in here, or maybe a second Holy Fire, but to be honest, the deck list it's really hard to take anything out. You can maybe take the Gluttonous Ooze out, depending on the meta. It's the only true tech card, aside from the Skulking Geist. Now, Skulking Geist is clearly a tech card for things like Taunt Druid and the few cube blocks that you see out there, and there's quite a few decks that are running 1-cost spells. But what this also does is late game, you really don't like seeing those Power Word Shields, because a lot of times there's no good targets to put the Power Word Shields on to then draw your card. So playing the Skulking Geist to clear your Power Word Shield, to move your Anduin or Alex Straza a couple cards higher up and give you a better chance to draw it, is a way that you can reach your win condition. So you can actually use Skulking Geist to thin your deck out of the Power Word Shields if you didn't get them early game.
An important note is that it also thins your Shadow Visions. So if you're in a game where you are up against the clock, you want those Shadow Visions to be impactful because you need to pull Mind Blast from it. So playing the Skulking Geist removes one of the spells that can come out of it. And there have been times when that has been exactly what I needed. With 3 spells left in the deck, that was exactly what I needed. And I've played Skulking Geist to make sure that when I Shadow Visions, I had 3 choices. There were the only 3 choices left in the deck, so I knew I was getting a Mind Blast from it.
Yeah, the Skulking Geist is usually used as strictly a tech card, but this actually helps thin your deck out in a beneficial way in multiple ways, raising your chance of getting your high end, as well as making sure you get the Mind Blast. The key to winning with this deck in the current meta is getting 3 to 4 Mind Blasts.
Right.
Sometimes you can also, if you've Shadow Vision and got a 3rd Mind Blast, you can Shadow Vision and get your Holy Fire so that you can actually, Mind Vision. You can actually Mind Blast, Holy Fire, Mind Blast in one turn, and the next turn you can Mind Blast and then Holy Fire. That's a lot of damage.
There have been several games, though, where I absolutely had to have Mind Blast off that Shadow Visions in order to win. And so remember at the beginning when I said that there wasn't a card I felt like you could take out. Every time I feel like Skulking Geist, I'm like, not really. Is it as impactful as I'm thinking it is? Would I be better off putting in the second Cabal Shadow Priest? And then I run into a situation where I absolutely have to have Mind Blast. Skulking Geist is in my hand. I have 4 spells left in the deck, one of which is Power Word Shield. Skulking Geist removes that. I go ahead and play my Shadow Visions. Next turn I win. I mean, it's really, it can be that impactful. And since you're using it on yourself, it's less of a tech card against a particular deck in the meta and more about a tech card about the overall state of the meta.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think Skulking Geist is. This is the first time I've seen Skulking Geist in a deck that it actually benefits the deck you're piloting. And when Skulking Geist was first released, I thought, wouldn't it be great to have some utility one-cost spells, but then when you don't need them, you just take them out of your deck, and now all of a sudden your combo pieces or your win conditions are now in a smaller pool of cards. Kind of the way that the Hemet Jungle Hunter works in a lot of these Shutterwalk decks, where it just thins your deck out for you. That's kind of what Skulking Geist does. And if you draw the Power Word Shields, then that's just more card draw to get to your other pieces, and it's already out of the pool anyway. So I like it. I think Skulking Geist is a great keep in this deck, and I wouldn't take it out.
All right, cool. Well, I have not got a chance to play this deck yet. I actually just built it today. So let's go check this deck out. If you are joining us on Twitch or YouTube, please stay tuned for the live play portion of our show. If you are listening via our audio podcast, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at HeroPower_cast. You can find all of our past episodes on YouTube at youtube.com/ECMMOGamers. If you enjoy the show, you'd like to help support and improve it, you can do so by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/HeroPower. And we'll see you all again next week.
And don't forget to use your Hero Power and Mind Blast and Hero Power and Mind Blast and Hero Power again.
Alrighty, gentlemen. So who's driving?
It's so true. Zeroshio is driving.
Yes.
All right.
At least that's the last thing I was told.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a mountain giant, and I'm a. What am I?
You are not your rank, sir.
I'm a novice engineer.
You are not your rank.
You are not your rank.
I've been seeing that pop up on Twitter so much.
Yeah. During the lull of the season right now, people are still wanting to play, but at the same time, they're not wanting to take the ladder too seriously. So it's people just need to know you're not your rank. It's great when feel accomplished when you get those high ranks, but at the same time, it doesn't define you. There are good players playing all over the ladder.
You know, the ladder is frustrating right now, but this is my favorite ladder.
Yes. Okay, so we are against a warlock.
Maybe I want to be a Black Knight. My parents told me I could be anything I want to be.
So we're against a warlock, and we have Power Word Shield, Psychic Scream, and Dustbreaker. There is a real popular, heal zoo out there, and Dustbreaker counters it really well. I think we keep the Dustbreaker, but throw everything else back. What do you guys think?
I like that.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
And the main reason not to keep the Power Word Shield is you want to get a dragon.
Right.
We need to get a dragon to activate it by turn 4.
The only reason you keep Power Word Shield is if you already have Northshire Cleric in your hand.
Yes.
Or Wild Pyro. You could do it if you have Wild Pyro.
We drew into Acolyte of Pain, Divine Hymn, still have the Dustbreaker, and another Power Word Shield. Obviously, we're passing turn 1. Acolyte of Pain will be good on turn 3. Nothing on turn 1, so this is probably Cube. And we're going to pass again.
Yeah.
After drawing the Psychic Scream, which will be good against Cube.
Yeah. This is the Cube variant. Psychic Scream is going to be very impactful.
Alex Straza. That
play the
we'll probably
Acolyte here.
Yeah, I think we definitely play the Acolyte here.
Yeah.
We may end up baiting out a coin Hellfire, which is great because it reduces his hand size by 2, and it gets rid of his coin.
I would be surprised if he did that. I was here to say I would expect the Doomsayer. Second Psychic Scream. Well, that's good. We know that we're not going to get it off of Shadow Visions. It's dead in the hand, but...
Do we waste the Power Word Shield here just for card draw, or do we just go face pass?
We don't really have much in our hand.
No.
We don't want to play Dustbreaker. We do run the risk of falling behind on the board in really turn 6.
Yeah.
Which is when shenanigans start to happen. I like drawing the card here.
So go ahead, Power Word Shield.
Yeah.
Okay. Gluttonous Ooze. That's actually a huge pickup.
Yeah.
Because if he's Luminaries on 5, we're definitely going to want that Gluttonous Ooze. That can really slow his tempo down.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's got coin. He's saving coin. It's probably for Skull, but that's Mountain Giant.
There's Mountain Giant. We're going to have to find a way to deal with this.
And
that's a way to deal with it.
That's exactly how you deal with Mountain Giant.
Top deck Twilight Acolyte. So we tap Twilight. And you don't see Shadow Word Deaths in here because you don't, Shadow Word Deaths because you don't want to water down your spells. And basically the Twilight Acolytes act as Shadow Word Deaths in a way.
Correct.
So we Acolyte the Giant. He'll probably end up running the Giant in and maybe Hellfire.
No, he'll run the Giant in and do something different.
Didn't run the Giant in at all. So we can kill the big Giant with our Acolyte.
Yep.
And that's the play?
Yeah, that's absolutely the play.
Because the 2/8 Giant's not even a threat.
Right. We just continue to heal its damage till we Psychic Scream.
Yep. I mean, I'd love to pull a Cabal Shadow Priest next turn.
Well, what he'll end up doing is he'll cube it.
I think you're right.
He's going to cube it.
Oh, he didn't. He lackeyed instead. So we punish that with a Psychic Scream, right?
I think we absolutely punished that with Psychic Scream.
Because he was going to cube that. It was pretty much the motion he made was to cube it. And he went, yeah, you know what? I don't want to get silenced or anything like that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Psychic Scream?
I would scream.
I mean, it gives him the Giant back, but that's fine. We'll be able to deal with it with another Psychic Scream or hopefully by a Shadow Reaper Anduin. Ooh.
All right, so this is, without a doubt, your Holy Fire turn.
Yeah.
You cannot let Umbra live.
No, I don't think we can. But what can he do with the Umbra that we can't just Psychic Scream next turn?
Well, it's not can we Psychic Scream next turn. It's like we want to Psychic Scream after Gul'dan hits.
That's true. That's very true. Do we want to Shadow Visions?
No,
this turn
not
as
yet.
well?
Not yet.
Okay.
Because we have Mass Dispel. Let's see. We have Mass Dispel.
Power Word Shield, Divine Hymn,
and Power Word Shield and Divine Hymn. So we're still four spells up.
I think we just Holy Fire heal.
Yeah, Holy Fire.
Hero power.
And we don't heal.
We just
don't heal the beetle.
Sure.
Yeah.
Heal the beetle. That's nice. Say.
Yeah, because I mean, you'd see we got Shadow Visions, Power Word Shield, Divine Hymn.
Mm-hmm.
And Mass Dispel. So yeah, we're still 4 spells. Shadow Visions doesn't count because you can always just cast it again.
Yeah. It's a redo, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that was perfect.
Hard cast Doomguard, discarded Dark Pact and Void Lord. That's huge.
That it is. And honestly,
so what do you think of pressure here? What if we Alexstrasza his face? I know he still has some healing, but that would make him have to heal, right?
Yeah, it does. He then has to get rid of Alexstrasza.
Yeah,
I like it.
I mean, the other option is to just steal his beetle so he doesn't get any armor.
But you know what? I don't mind that either. If we did that, we could just heal up again and force him to start having to clear with that Doom Guard, which is not what he wants to do.
So pre-stat?
I like that.
Of course, we know he has a cube in hand, but he discarded 1 Dark Pact. And we're not in range of...
Actually, hold on. Do we want to kill it?
How?
No, I'm asking, do we want to kill it or do we want to scream it?
Probably scream it. Do it now, or we want to Cabal Shadow Priest?
I like screaming it. Go ahead and
scream now?
Yeah.
Okay. Heal face. Okay.
Yeah. So next turn we Alexstrasza and put the pressure on.
Yep.
Because right now,
he got itchy.
Yeah. If even if he casts Gul'dan, he doesn't have a demon to pull back, and he's had to hard cast it twice.
Did you see that though? He discarded the other Doom Guard. I mean, obviously he picked up a Doom Guard. So we know what he discarded. He discarded Doom Guard and Carnivorous Cube. So the cube's gone. We can take one of these.
Yep.
But we won't heal any.
Yeah, we'll divine him.
We not if we take it. We won't have the mana. To Twilight Acolyte, Cabal Shadow Priest, it's 9.
Yeah, he can't kill us in one turn.
Not now, I don't think.
No.
Those 2 cards would have to be Carnivorous Cube and the other Dark Carnivorous Cube and the other Dark Pact.
Yeah.
So take 1?
Yeah, I like it.
And this mainly is to take he's only going to have 1 Doom Guard in his pool.
Right, and go ahead and run it into the other Doom Guard.
Value trade, okay. This sets us up for Dustbreaker turn. We're probably going to have to divine him this next turn, though.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a cube. That's kind of makes things a little messy.
No. So what we do now is we're guaranteed to get Mass Dispel. So Shadow Visions.
Shadow Visions? Oh, yes, yeah. They're not guaranteed.
No. Wow, okay.
Because of the powered shield. But we got a Mind Blast.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and Mind Blast. And let's
Primordial Drake? No, we need to be able to him this turn. Primordial Drake won't work. Make haste.
Let's Primordial Drake.
Just Primordial Drake?
Yeah.
Do we want to run Doom Guard into the cube?
No, we want to run everything face Primordial Drake.
I mean, this isn't. Even if he pops it and gets past Primordial Drake, it's not lethal. We might have to defensive Alexstrasza.
I mean, unless he has Spellbreaker here. He probably does.
Still isn't. Mortal Coil? Puts us at 2?
This is a defensive Alexstrasza, right?
Hold on.
I think a defensive Alexstrasza will...
What about Duskbreaker, Wild Pyro? No, Divine.
It's not going to be enough.
It's not going to be enough. We're going to have to defensive. Yep.
Yeah. Should keep us out of harm's way, though.
We don't have anything for next turn, though.
Well, we have Divine him, and we can trade if he doesn't kill off the Alexstrasza.
Yeah. Let's see.
Oh, is he double? The Gul'dan. This is 3. That's lethal. Yep, that's lethal. Yep. He played that well.
Yeah, so now you see the value of having.
Yeah, if we would have gotten the skulking guys early enough
to
pick
guys,
out, yeah. But sometimes you don't get the draw that way. That happens.
Yeah.
And right now the meta is really hard. Just in the last 24 hours, this deck has gotten a little harder to play because a lot more control-y types have been coming out in the limelight. Mainly because a lot of aggro decks have been coming out with Odd Rogue and this new heal-based zoo. Healy Zoo, Heal Zoo, whatever you want to call it. It's very popular and it's being countered with Warrior and control decks like Mage and Warlock. This is a tough matchup. This is probably Quest. I think we just keep the Northshire Cleric and throw back the Divine Hymn and the Alexstrasza.
Yeah.
And I'm not usually a fan of turn 1 Northshire Cleric, but in this, against Warrior, you usually will have time to do that.
I like first turn Northshire Cleric.
In most cases, it's okay.
2 Psychic Screams again.
Yeah. And in this matchup, it's very beneficial to Shadow Visions for a third Psychic Scream. This is going to be an uphill battle. I did beat one today, but it's tough.
We've already lost so much momentum.
We have. Yeah, we have. We draw into a Power Word Shield. That's odd. There's a Power Word Shield.
Power Word Shield. I would still run it in, heal it.
Do we shield the Cleric first, though?
Why?
So to get the card draw?
I mean, it's going to end up the same anyway, and we're not going to cast what we're going to do.
And you could shield one of the Raptors for that matter.
We could. Let's just, like you're right. You're right. Let's run in the Cleric first and heal it. See what we draw. Mind Blast. Do we shield one of these and run it in, or just run them all in?
Well, he's going to coin into Bloodraiser. So do we want to keep it or not? That's our question. I would rather spread it out. So I think I would probably rather shield a Raptor.
That's what I was thinking. Shield a Raptor, and then we run any in?
Yeah, because they're going to die anyway.
Yeah. Well, they're definitely going to die now because everything's going to die to Dustbreaker. So.
Yeah. Well, at least we drew into the Dustbreaker. Ooh, Stonehill Defender. This actually may work out. Question is, do we value the draw or the board clear more?
Honestly, I think right now I value the draw more.
So trade off the corner sentry and then heal it?
Yeah.
So if we Power Word Shield it now, if he gets the Bloodraiser, he'll have to use the Minion as well to kill it.
Yeah. I like that.
Actually, that won't even kill it, will it? No, it won't.
No.
Divine Hymn, that could be useful. And this right now it survives a Dustbreaker.
Yeah.
I don't expect it to live, but it's gotten us a lot of value so far.
Well, it's caught us back up.
Those sentries he's just liberal with them. I've not seen somebody play them without having some way to couple them. He is burning to get to his quest done. There's so many options here. What line do you see, Rustika?
We could clear off everything but the Tar Creeper. Is that necessary? I don't know that it is.
I don't think it is.
I think we just go ahead and run. I think we just go ahead and clear off the Stonehill.
And develop the Twilight Drake?
And, yeah, develop the Twilight Drake, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I like that. We won't get a card draw off this, but right now our hand size is.
Yeah, I'm not sure that we want to draw very many more cards.
Not anymore. I think we're good. We're 4 cards or 3 cards behind on T.
Yeah. Well, we just gained 1 back.
Yeah. Interesting. So we can clear this board by running the Cleric into the Tar Creeper, Twilight Drake into the Sentry. Then we can Dustbreaker and heal on the Twilight Drake.
I like that.
This may also bait out a Execute, which wouldn't be a terrible thing.
If he knows this matchup, he's going to save the Execute for Alex Straza.
True. I do want to get the Skulking Geist out to kill the Shield Slams before he has a chance to use them. But if he has a Shield Slam, he'll use it now. He would really have to do some major development for me to want a Psychic Scream.
Yeah, I don't see Psychic Screaming.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm actually fairly scared they're dead cards.
They might be in this matchup. He hasn't played his taunts the way I would expect them to. This isn't too terribly threatening. You finished the quest. Oh, a Gluttonous Ooze right in time. So I'm thinking Skulking Geist here. Trade the Drake into one of them and then leave the other one full.
Mad at Arms in chat says the key is to pressure so he never has a chance to play the quest reward.
Yeah, and I agree. I do actually like the Skulking Geist.
Okay. Skulking Geist?
Clear, yeah.
Clear one with the Twilight Drake, but we don't do a value trade, right? Because that puts it too easy to be Whirlwinded or make him do that damage to it, I was thinking.
Yeah.
It only runs 1 Shield Slam. So leave it.
Yeah.
If we were on 8 mana, I would consider doing it followed by the Divine Hymn, but we didn't have the mana for it. Surprised he only runs 1 Shield Slam. Wonder what he cut for that. There's a Soul Furos. Wow, he didn't even Hero Power first, so does he have a 2-cost? There's the Execute. Okay.
Yeah, he's looking to maximize his chance to hit us with the fireball.
We hope this goes face. It doesn't. So we definitely want a Gluttonous Ooze here, right?
Yeah.
You'll face, and that's it?
Yeah. So we'll net take 6 if this fireball hits our face.
Yeah.
All right, so now we scream.
Psychic Scream?
Yep.
Works for me.
I mean, we'll take 8 to the face.
We need to get it. We need to get Alex Straza down.
Yeah.
He hasn't developed that much armor. Shield Bearer. Fine.
Yeah, we drew our end game too early.
This looks like the version of the deck that was played at championships this past weekend.
It's possible. Do you think Alex Strauss at his face and then just Northshire Cleric to suck up board space?
You're exactly right.
We're not in an unwinnable situation right now because we have 2 Mind Visions and a Mind Blast in the deck. We can burn. Oh, here comes the armorers I expected earlier. He is nailing those rag shots. Do we just start putting burn on his face?
I think you play the Primordial, but...
Yeah, I think you play the Primordial.
And heal face?
Heal face.
Okay. He's low on card count, and we got Primordial again next turn. Might be able to get some face damage in. Ooh, there's the Battle Rage. That actually works out. Here comes the armor. Primordial again? Primordial trade he'll face?
You know, actually, what would you think about Twilight Acolyte onto the Tar Creeper and steal it?
It won't take it.
Yeah. It's got to be 2 or less.
It'll make it a 4/5.
Oh, you're talking about switching. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've not tried that interaction yet.
It's technically a 1/5. It'll turn it into a 2/5. 4/5.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead and.
I like that play, but it just won't work.
Yeah, go ahead and Drake, and then clear the Creeper with the other Drake, or vice versa. Yeah.
Yeah. And now, do we heal face here, or do we divine him?
Divine him.
Since we have 2. And
we want to make sure. We want to make sure that we're healing the Drake up to where he can't clear it with the Blood Razor.
Or clear it with Execute, without hitting it with the Blood Razor. Does he take? Oh wow! Card draw. Here's the Execute. At least he had to take some face damage to make the Execute work.
Now, Shadow Priest, one of those guys? Are you going to get a better target?
Well, I like Shadow Vision first and grab us another Mind Blast.
Yeah, go ahead and Shadow Visions.
Mind Blast, right?
Yeah.
Is there any merit to Mass Dispel?
No.
Okay.
And
now
then...
Go ahead.
I think we go ahead and Holy Fire his face.
Okay, I like it.
And heal us.
Do we still heal us? We're at 29.
Yeah, we need every point of health we can get.
Okay. Got him down 20. He doesn't have any real reliable armor gain. What? No, you use both shield blocks. Oh, he's drawing like crazy. We might be able to fatigue him.
We don't want to fatigue him. We're going to put all of these back in his deck here in a minute.
Okay, that's fair. Love to see Shadow Reaper Anduin. Ooh, you sure we don't want to fatigue you?
Do we want to take one of those spectral?
Yeah, we want to take one of the spectrals.
Okay.
And
I'm just saying he has 5 cards in his deck. We can take him down to 1 card now, but
oh, you're talking about with the Wild Pyro?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so will Cabal Shadow Priest, Wild Pyro, Divine him?
I don't hate that.
I don't hate it either. And we're Shadow Priesting 1 of the 2/4s, right?
Yeah.
Wild Pyromancer, Divine him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying if he starts taking some ticks of fatigue, we might be able to finish him off with Mind Blast, is my only thought.
Oh, no, I completely agree.
Because we have 2 Mind Blasts in our hand. And he'll draw another card, and he'll draw his last card. I don't know if I agree with that. He probably should have used the 2/3 and then traded into the Pyromancer. Oh, he's got a Blood Razor. Okay. Guess it didn't matter.
He's just trying to make sure he's hitting us for 8 every turn.
Yeah.
So if we draw our Shadow Visions or Mind Blast, it's over.
Would it be? Well, yeah, it would have been over, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But you know what? I'm okay with just straight up Dust Breakering.
It won't clear.
And, yeah, I know.
Okay.
Twilight, Acolyte, and Heal. We just want to put bodies on the board.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. They'll trade evenly, so.
Yeah, but that's not going face.
Yes. Yeah. I'm just saying the order I did Twilight Acolyte really didn't matter. I was thinking maybe I didn't want to have it activated, but it wouldn't have mattered.
Now, if he's got Gromosh.
It's not lethal. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
But it would have
would
been. So we still have the same win scenario. We draw Mind Blast or Shadow Visions, and this game is over.
Yep.
There we go. Fire away.
Bam.
Give him the broadside.
Well played. Bam. Well played, guys. That was a tough matchup. I have lost that deck quite a bit. That is astonishing. Thank you very much, Macbeth. Very respectful of him to acknowledge how astonishing that was. That we top decked the card we needed out of what, like 6 cards left in our deck? Are we going to go for the rubber game?
We had a 33%. Yeah, I mean, I'm good.
Okay.
I know we're later than normal.
I mean, we started 30 minutes later.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We are naturally later than normal because we started later.
Yeah, you slide us back 30 minutes. It's just 8:54. We got time.
And we know the blue-headed rooster crows at midnight. It took you a second, didn't it? It took you a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have not the perfect scenario because we don't have the coin, but we have Pyromancer against what is probably odd Paladin. So keep just the Pyromancer?
Yes.
Throw back the Mind Blast and the Primordial Drake?
Yeah.
Matt at Arms said we should have healed that last guy's face, then
Mind Blast,
and then let Fatigue kill him.
See, this is we need Matt at Arms. We need to pay attention. That was perfect.
Fatigue wouldn't have killed. We would have still killed him.
Yeah, we would have still killed him. Let's see here.
We have nothing.
Nothing.
Again.
But we did draw on the Dustbreaker, which is good because that is a good card to have on a level up turn or right before a level up turn. I tend to bait the odd paladin a little bit, especially if I could draw into divine hymns to kind of get him to load the board up. There's shadow visions. Do we shadow visions now for a power word shield? That card's really strong in this matchup.
So what do we pull? We see we can pull Scream, which doesn't help us. We could pull Mass Dispel,
which can help us.
Divine Hymn helps us. Power Word Shield helps us. Mind Blast ultimately helps us. Shadow Visions gives us a reset. So the worst case scenario is that we pull Holy Fire, Psychic Scream, Mass Dispel, at which point we can still get Mass Dispel. So yeah, go ahead.
Go for it?
Yeah.
Take the Mind Blast?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, ultimately, we're on the clock anyway.
Yeah. I just love being able to Pyromancer Power Word Shield on turn 3.
I mean, there's no healing in this deck, right?
In their deck? No.
Right, so, I mean, it's still damage.
Yeah.
So, worst case scenario, next turn, if we don't draw a dragon, we can Wild Pyro, Mind Blast. It's still solid damage and still...
So right now we're just healing face, right?
Yeah.
It won't clear completely because of the Ardent Squire, but it'll do well enough.
I was going to say, it takes it out of level up, which is what we need to stop him from doing, because he still has the coin.
Yes. He could easily coin into level up. If we see Lost in the Jungle hero power, we definitely want to play around the level up.
I have to ask, you said you usually like to bait the paladin. Would you consider yourself a master?
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
No.
So at EverQuest, I got the fishing up just so I can have that title.
No.
Just so you're aware.
No. No.
Okay.
I still say
Pyro Mind Blast?
That we
Unless we draw... Yeah, Pyro Mind Blast?
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I mean, the Pyro easily gets cleared, but it's damage. And my Kingdom for a dragon next turn.
I mean, that was what potentially game ending, right? 3-12. Would have been 16.
2-turn lethal. No dragon. This is a tough sorts. Do we just put out the Acolyte and the Northshire Cleric just to target maybe him running into him?
Yeah, I think so.
Just as things he feels like he has to get rid of?
Yeah. That may force him into playing level up before he's ready.
True. Because level up now wouldn't be crippling.
Yeah.
As of right now, probably Skulking Geist will get rid of the Blessings of Might.
Yeah.
I love putting a bunch of dudes in their deck with Psychic Scream.
Yeah.
Such a tempo loss for them. Of course, he hasn't used a lot of his hand. Ooh, Iron Beak Gal. Well, at least the Acolyte's going to be able to... Ooh.
That's a board clear. Yeah. I say we do it.
Easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
Now we
just
have
get the Shadow Reaper, and because Shadow Reaper Anduin can do some work with clearing the board at his own.
Yeah.
You trade your healing, but it's just super powerful. Skulking Geist?
I do. I like Skulking Geist here.
Do we just knock off the shield?
Yep.
And this thins out our power word shields that really at this point are not very useful. And we cleared 2 Lost in Jungle and 2 Blessing of Mights. So that's really good. He can't make up his mind. So he's preserving his dudes because he'd have to trade in his dudes if he did that. I think he's setting up for a. Oop, that doesn't work. I think he's setting up for a level up. What do you think?
I think so too, and I think giving him a Skulking Geist is the last thing he wants.
Yeah, I do want to get rid of the Defender though, so he doesn't get another one of those.
Okay.
So clear the Defender. There's another chance to get Tareem. We just don't want. Psychic Scream.
Yep.
Because he played Defender, so he might have gotten Tareem already, which is why he preserved his 1/1s.
Yeah.
Knowing we'd only clear one minion. Useful later. Do we just Anduin? No, we're getting low on health.
Yeah.
But it's more than what we could heal this turn other than using Holy Fire. Anduin?
Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
So level up is 12, 13, 17 total with his weapon.
Yep.
We can mass spell if we have to. Hopefully we draw into a dragon for Dustbreaker. And level up. Okay. Use your weapon. Make a mistake and use your weapon. He's too good for that. Yeah.
Oh, but there's a Psychic Scream.
There's a Psychic Scream. Poke his face, Psychic Scream, or do we want to lay down the Acolyte afterwards?
No, I like poking his face and screaming.
Keep it up. Versika's just going to walk off the show.
I'm trying. He's lobbing them up to me, man. Making these way too easy for me.
Versika's just shaking his head going, I just got to get through this game and I'm on vacation.
You are not wrong.
Please give us definitely give us a dragon.
For the love of goodness. For the love of all that is holy.
Oh, that's it.
No, it wouldn't have been it.
That's
it
true.
Wouldn't have been it.
Divine Mass
Dispel, isn't it?
You absolutely Mass Dispel this.
Yeah. Okay, so poke his face, then Mass Dispel.
No. You just Mass Dispel first.
Oh, are we going to try to get any activation to hero powers in?
No, you're going to Mass Dispel first.
All right.
So that you could get a dragon.
Which we didn't.
Which you didn't.
Well, we can still divine him.
So.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, we're going to have to hero power, divine him, hero power.
Yeah.
On minions?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay with that. I just want to make sure I'm going to the right place. But we still have Holy Fire for healing, too.
Yeah.
Speaking of Holy, it's good to see Holy Fox in the chat. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Holy Fox. Man, I haven't seen you in forever. Don't forget, we got a Greens event soon.
Well, we will
something.
Take one of those guys.
Yep.
Do we double hero power one of the taunts, or do we hero power both of the Silverhand recruits down? Mind you, both level ups have been used.
Tareem is still Tareem, so we go ahead and remove threats off the board, I think.
Okay. So he can easily use his face and one of those to clear through one and probably go face. Puts us at 7.
Excuse me.
Here comes the Tareem setup.
Yeah.
This would be if he got Tareem. Nope, he didn't get Tareem so far.
No.
He's going to hit us for 3. No dragons.
Our
Come
kingdom
on.
For a dragon, yeah.
So we can.
So let's
hero
see.
power down.
Wait. Let's just. We have 11 cards in our deck, and 5 of them are dragons.
Yes. That changes nothing.
Well, I'm just thinking in my head. So we go ahead and clear. We know we're going to clear the 3/4 with 4/5.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and do that.
I didn't know that, but okay.
All right. So, and we actually kind of did that. We should have pinged the 2/2, but it's irrelevant because it's going to die.
We can still
anyway.
ping. Yeah.
So ping the 2/2.
Okay.
It's 1 point of damage. It's going to be inconsequential on the
Holy fire on the taunt.
Holy fire on the taunt.
And clear the firefly.
Yeah.
This presumably keeps us alive. 2, 4, 6, 8.
Short of Alex Straza.
Oh, there's the Skulky Geist we gave him. Or, yeah. What? Okay.
I mean, we literally have a 50-50 chance of drawing a dragon.
There we go. So we're Dustbreakering, obviously. Yep. Are we going to even... Do we need to hero power that down?
I would ping it, yeah.
So ping, Dustbreaker, ping it again?
Yeah.
Whew, this is getting tight. Love a Divine Hymn.
Seriously, we've only got 1 left, so...
Matt at Arms said the theme of this game is Khaleesi just screaming, "Where are my dragons?"
That's true.
Oh yes.
So this is ping his face, Primordial Drake face, right?
Yep.
Oh. Man. They're late to the party, but they made it to the party.
So now we're Mind Blast or Shadow Visions away from winning.
Yeah. I think we win, though. 7? No, we can win now. We got this.
Yep. That's game. Whoo.
It's a tough win, but we got it. And I say it's a tough win. I usually do pretty well against that deck. Again, I don't draw that badly half the time, but I do well against it.
All right. 2-1 with the combo Dragon Priest.
From 883650.
That's right. I like it. So, all right.
Only in Hearthstone do you have the finalists. It's just random numbers after A and a guy named Bunny Hopper.
Yep, that's right. So,
the game was brown because we pulled it out of somewhere.
Oh, that's right.
At Arms.
Whatever works. So,
hey.
All right, last
win
thoughts.
Is a win.
Rasika, you're going to be away for a week. What do you got?
Honestly, I know a lot of people feel like they're done with this meta. I think in 3-4 months, I think we're going to be wishing that we were back in this meta. I have a bad feeling that there's an overreactive pendulum swing coming with this next expansion. So be careful what you wish for and enjoy what you've got while you got it. You got about, I'm going to guess 5 weeks.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I personally, I'm extremely frustrated with this meta, but I love being frustrated when I play games because it invigorates me to try harder, try new things, and do things I normally don't do to win. So I'm happy where the meta is. My thoughts for this week are for Versika to be safe when he's swimming with sharks. I hope he doesn't get eaten. And if so, then our guest next week may be a permanent host. We are going to have the wonderful Mike Lowe on to play some wild decks, or play a wild deck, and give us his thoughts on the meta.
That's right. Looking forward to that show.
Think about it for a second, real quick. When was the last time you didn't have at least one oppressive deck? I mean, you don't have 1 to 2 super oppressive decks. You can pretty much play.
When was the last
right
time?
now.
When was the last time you didn't just have 1 or 2 oppressive decks and you really couldn't play anything else? Yeah, I agree with you. Right now, I will literally play a 10-game session and play 8 different decks. And the meta, considering that who knows when the set's going to be announced or come out, but we know we're getting close. We're already into July, and usually it happens. We start hearing stuff, murmurs in July, and then August we get a set sometime. But at this point, we usually, the meta changes from week to week, maybe, if it changes at all. And now I'm literally seeing changes day to day, sometimes a couple times each day. And that is unheard of at this point in the set cycles. And it's very frustrating. It's not as easy to get to Legend. I barely got there last month. And I'm having trouble, albeit it's day 5 of the month, I'm having trouble going up the ladder now. But it's refreshing. I like that I have to change decks. I like that I have to tech things in and out to accommodate the meta. I like that all of a sudden a heal-based zoo comes out of nowhere and you have to adjust your decks and game plan for that. It's a great time to be in Hearthstone. It's just very frustrating.
Yeah, I've been playing quite a bit as well, and having a lot more fun with it than I can remember. It's been a long time. Like, I've just been really enjoying playing in the higher ranks because I like Versika, I started this month at like 23, and so I'm working on trying to build my way back down that way to I would like to try to shoot for 10 this month.
I think you could do it.
Yeah, if everyone is playing the same deck, then that's what you play against. And while there is a certain amount of familiarity and stability in that, it still breeds burnout.
Yep.
It breeds just apathy. So I like that I'm not playing against the same thing over and over again. And that I can go on a 5-game win streak with Odd Druid and it not be odd.
And then go on a 10-game losing streak. But that's the way this meta is right now. Is I will literally go on a 10-1 tear and then turn around and go on like a 3-7 tear. And it's like, what just happened?
But you're not losing those 7 games to the same frustrating deck.
No, that's what I love. Is those 7 games I lost are to a variety of 3 or 4 decks that people have started playing because of all the odd rogues and other aggro decks. And then all of a sudden, 2 hours later, it flips again because people stop playing aggro decks and play mid-range decks. So then it's fluid, and it's unheard of for it to be fluid at this stage. And it's fluid from hour to hour. I will play in the morning, in the mid-afternoon, and at night, and have 3 different varieties of meta. And that just isn't normal for this stage of the set releases. It's refreshing. I'm excited for 2 more sets to come out. let's just keep going.
Yeah, enjoy that you don't have a problem child.
Yeah.
In the current mix, you don't have a Mean Streets of Gadgets, and you don't have a Whispers of the Old Gods, and you don't have a Goblins versus Gnomes. You don't have a set that currently has cards that just breaks the meta. So there you go.
Yep.
Enjoy it while you got it.
All right, well, that's going to do it.
And one last thing. Pretty soon we're going to hear Pirates versus Ninjas.
He's calling it now. Again.
Calling it now.
All right.
Again.
So, with that, if you have any questions or comments about the show, please email us at heropowerpodcast@gmail.com. If you have any questions about the deck we played as well, please send those in. We'd love to hear from you. Hit that subscribe button below on YouTube if you've not done so, or give us a follow on Twitch to be alerted when we go live. And for more details about our patron-only Discord, make sure you check out patreon.com/heropower. And we'll see you all again next week.
Again.
Good gaming.